This is Soph,
This is Rich.
and we are from
From
across the
across the
pond. What's
pond.
going down? What's going down? How was your week?
It's Friday. Um, to be absolutely fair, the week was actually similar to last week. Alfie was still unwell. I called the doctor, and she basically said that her observation, analysis, whatever you want to say, after what I told her was it sounds like he did pick up a tummy bug from school. And whereas like me and you, if we got ill, we'd gradually, like, we wouldn't eat for like a couple of days afterwards, or we'd limit what we ate until we felt better. Whereas Alfie got better and then sort of thought, soddy, I haven't eaten for a week, I'm going in. So he went back to eating his normal stuff, and then 2 days later was sick again. So she just said she feels like his stomach is still very sensitive. Don't give him any dairy, and limit the amount he eats. So yeah, this week, unfortunately for me, was very much the same as last week. However, it is his weekend to go to his dad's this weekend. So he has gone to his dad's from this morning, because he's not allowed back to school until 48 hours after the last time he was sick, even though he is much better today. So by Monday, fingers crossed.
Work over there, because I know when my kids went to school, I sent them to school even if they try to say they were sick, unless they were throwing up.
Oh, hell, exactly the same for me. My mum will vouch. When I was younger, I even pulled a muscle in my leg once, and she was going to make me go to school. It's only because when I woke up in the morning, I couldn't physically get up. I got out of going to school. But here, if your child is sick, they're not allowed to return to school until they felt better for 48 hours. So basically, he's got to have 2 days where he's better before he can go back to school.
Now, do you give him a written excuse or like a doctor's excuse for those 48 hours?
Neither. This is my me being honest. Like, it's down to the parent. You've got to phone up in the morning and say, yes, he is come. If he's not coming to school, you've got to phone him and say, no, he's not in today. And then they'll give you the right act, you know the rules, 48 hours from the last time he's unwell, blah, blah, blah. So therefore, then it's up to me to be truthful. And let's not get it twisted. I'm sure there are some parents out there that leave it like a day and be like, go on, you're fine. You don't need to worry about that. And I get why, he might be contagious or whatever. But yeah, I've stuck to the rules. Just because he got better and then went back down again, I thought, what's the point in sending him back to school to just come back again next week? So give him the time he needs to rest.
Now, do they do that for high school as well?
All schools.
All schools.
All schools, all educational systems, yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't just bump him off to his dad's. He goes to his dad's every other weekend. If he was ridiculously poorly, I wouldn't have said you've still got to go to your dad's, but he was better yesterday. He's fine today. And I'm going to my dad's today. So we're both going to our dad's mine's not for the weekend, actually. It's only one night, but yeah. But apart from that, I was just going to tell you something news, but how was your week?
My week was very uneventful. As usually, we had a little start of a heat wave here because we have a tropical storm coming through off the coast of Florida, which I feel really bad for, because we had in the news that condo that collapsed.
Oh yeah.
They're still trying to find people amongst the rubble. And now you got a storm that's getting ready to hit.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've been working and coming home and working and coming home. And it's a repeated cycle. until I
I
retire.
know. It's very, now the world's opening up. It's very boring, isn't it? You know, like my dad used to say when we were on lockdown, darling, can't you say something on a Friday? What have you done in the week? You always say nothing. And I was like, well, we haven't been allowed anywhere. I haven't done anything. Now we're allowed somewhere. All you do is work, school,
Yes.
chores.
Work is, well, to be honest, during the whole lockdown, I was going to work every day. So ain't
Oh.
nothing changed for me.
But in the news, football tournament is still on. Obviously, my beautiful Ukraine got knocked out by England. England, I stand corrected. They made it through the semi-final last night, beating Italy. Italy? Oh no, sorry, Denmark. Italy. They've made it through to the final on Sunday. Sunday they're going to play Italy in the final, but they beat Denmark last night, 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying that I'm supporting England now, Ukraine are out, because I'm not. I'm not one of those people that support a team and then when they get knocked out say, okay, well, I'll support England now. No.
Yeah.
England never win anything, you know, and let's not get it twisted. I take my hat off to them. They've got this far and they've got a good team.
Well,
But
I beg to differ. I think.
okay, shall I tell you the message?
think-
Remember I said to you, only my parents message me when the matches are on, right?
Yeah.
My dad messaged me last night, all throughout the game. Oh, he said after they won, just one more game to go, daughter, till we win. I said, oh, good, come on, Italy, you know, meaning the other team. He said, oh, daughter, I cannot believe you at some times. So I sent laughing faces. He said, they have to win the final before I pop my clogs because I was 8 years old the last time they won.
Wow.
That was like 55 years ago was the last time England won the final. So excuse me if I don't get excited because they've made it to the semi-final.
Well, I'm just saying, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. You jinxed them by saying that they never win.
They
And
don't.
now they're winning. So if they do win, I'm just going to say it's all because of your negativity.
Well, and I'll take the credit for that. I'll fully take the credit for that. It certainly will not be the person who's gone round the town painting the England flag on all of the roundabouts. Actually, on the concrete roundabout, they've turned it into a big flag with paint. Someone's gone in the middle of the night when no one's around and everyone's asleep and painted all the roundabouts. Why? Do they think that that's going to help them win? I mean,
hey man, look, it's the love of the game. People really take sports really serious.
they take it seriously when their team is winning. The moment England lose, you wait for it. Oh, they never win. It's rubbish. I knew they wouldn't win.
So you think that person's gonna go in the middle of the night and repaint all that?
Of course they're not. I don't know what's going to happen. They're probably just chuck black paint all over it or something. I don't know. But a couple of things leading off to that, still in the news. I'm not just me. There are loads of people feeling some type of way about this whole corona thing because there was 67,000 fans crammed into that stadium like sardines last night, just like normal, you know, no masks, no social distancing, no nothing. But parents can't go to school and watch their kids' sports day outside at a social distance from somebody. Why? How can you justify that?
Easy, because they've gotten concerts here where they've done concerts here that if you're vaccinated, you're allowed to go to the concert.
I don't care what anyone says. All them people was not vaccinating that match last night. For the simple fact is, half of them were kids. They ain't had the vaccine. Number one. Number two, the Delta variant don't even cover you in these vaccines. So that's also flawed, which also leads me to, there's an advert, right, at the minute I've seen on social media that says, do you want to win tickets? Because obviously they're all sold out. Do you want to win tickets to the final on Sunday, right? Come here and get your 2 vaccinations and then you'll be in with a chance of winning the tickets.
My thing about that is, it's just a ploy. I look at it like,
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be hot if they start giving out dough for people who don't want to get the vaccine. Because I'll be like, look, I personally got the vaccine because it needed to be done. If you don't want to get the vaccine, you don't get it. I don't see why they're forcing people with slogans and commercials and prizes and stuff.
And this is not me saying if people want to get the vaccine, that's their business, right? But if you're going to go and sign up for money or to win tickets to a football match to get a vaccine, you need to check yourself, because that is the wrong reason to be doing it.
Exactly.
I have seen more videos this week online and on social media about people. Like, there was a guy, I watched him, I think it was on Instagram the other day. He's recording his journey because he's like a big bodybuilder, right? 2 weeks ago, he went to get his vaccine. In the same arm that he got his vaccine, a lump appeared in his armpit, right? So he went to the doctor. Sorry, I got something in my eye. He went to the doctor. Transpires it's a blood clot, right? And he recorded, when he went in to speak to the doctor, he recorded it, videoed it on his phone, saying to the doctor, is this blood clot due to me having the vaccine? Because it's a bit funny how it's in the same arm. The doctor said, I just need to do a couple more tests to confirm 100%, but blood clots in your arm are very rare. So I'm going to say, yes, it is linked to your vaccine.
I look at the vaccine as the vaccine and side effects are different for different folks.
I hear that, but I wanted to ask you a question, actually. I know this is Fun Friday, but now we've brought it up. You know, obviously you had the vaccine, and then a short time after that had a little bit of a situation where you had to go.
Had nothing to do with the vaccine.
You're saying nothing to do with the vaccine?
Heck no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I should have asked you that on the show, but you know, I was so into it, the interview, it just slipped my mind. Yeah, so that's the only thing really, like, news-wise, the usual vaccine, COVID, football.
Yeah, and all I'm doing is listening to celebrity gossip with everybody jumping ship from Britney Spears. Everybody's jumping on, you know, and then the whole Bill Cosby thing.
Oh,
everybody's having.
did you see that Felicia Rashad came under some fire because she put a tweet up saying something like, thank God this man's been released, you know, blah, blah, blah. Everybody went to town on her. That was a stupid mistake, a stupid thing you've said, you know, what if he's guilty and you said this, you've done this?
Look, check this out. The man served the time, whether they like it or not. He served some time. Okay, he's almost 90 years old. Like, what did you want him to do? Rot in jail for something that happened 6 decades ago? Like, I don't know.
The only other thing, just going back, is on the 19th of July, that's when all our restrictions are supposed to be lifted. They've said that wearing a mask, it's up to you if you wear a mask after that date.
Well, here, if you haven't got the vaccine, you're supposed to be still wearing a mask. If you got the vaccine, if you got the vaccine, you don't have to wear one.
So if it was the same, that would you, if it was up to you over there, would you wear a mask or not?
Well, I got the vaccine, so I'm not wearing a mask. I got so many masks around here now, it's ridiculous.
Well, on the 19th of July, it's going to be lifted. I ain't had the vaccine, and I ain't wearing a mask either.
No, I ain't mad at you. Do what you like.
Okay, so Fun Friday, the 2 favorite F's in our vocabulary. We're going to talk about, oh my goodness, let me just do this. For some reason, the batteries, I've plugged the wrong lead in. The battery's going to go. Oh my goodness.
Better hurry up.
We're saved. What is this for? Where did this come from? This is exactly the same as mine.
I don't have a clue.
But that's the wrong one anyway.
All I'm going to say is,
this is not the one from my computer.
All I'm going to say is upgrade.
All I'm going to say is Saved by the Bell is plugged in. Anyway, we are going to talk about cinema, movies, films, because here you can go to the cinema now. It's all opened up. In you go, get your popcorn, Coke, hot dog, nachos, ice cream, put your feet up.
And you know what? As much as I love movies, and I knew this was going to happen, I'm on a streaming bug now. Like I got HBO Max, I got Disney Plus, I got Hulu, I got Netflix. And it's hard for me to go to the movies now because I haven't been in so long.
So is
I
that
don't know
because
what
you
it's
don't
like.
want to go, or it's because of the whole Corona thing, or what?
I don't even say it's the Corona thing. I think I'm just so used to enjoying a movie sitting in my own home.
See, now I'm totally gutted because Fast and the Furious 9 came out over here, right, about 2 weeks ago. And this is obviously the 9th one, clues in the title. This is the first one I've never been to the cinema on the day it came out because obviously my boyfriend's in it.
What?
But it was my
Vin
weekend to
Diesel
have
would be so
Alfie.
upset with you.
It was my weekend to have Alfie. And then after that, he was ill. So there was no time for me, and I still haven't seen it. And
I haven't seen it either because that's one thing that I'm starting to like is that the streaming services are nice, okay? But what I'm having an issue with is if I'm paying, all right, I'm gonna give you a scenario. Disney Plus, okay? If a movie comes out on Disney Plus, I'm gonna give you an example. Mulan, the live action one. When it came out, you had to spend $20 on top of your prescription. Okay,
subscription, you mean, not prescription.
subscription. I'm sorry, subscription, and you got to watch it for so many. But then 2 or 3 weeks later, it came back out and you could watch it for free. HBO Max, on the other hand, when they have a movie that's coming out, you get to watch that bad boy without paying anything extra. Now, that's my only gripe about streaming services. If I'm paying for the subscription, I shouldn't have to pay to watch a movie.
I agree, but surely isn't that the same with sport? Like if I pay extra for the sports channel, when a boxing match comes on pay-per-view or box office, why do I then have to pay another 20 quid? Surely that's the same for that.
Well, with box, to me, that's a little bit different because the simple fact of the matter is you're going to watch a top ranked boxing match that you're not going to see on a regular basis. I'm watching movies on a regular basis.
True, but you're only going to watch the movie once, right?
If a new movie comes out, why am I paying $20 when I'm already paying $20 for the subscription? And then 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, that same movie comes out and I get to watch it for free. Makes no sense.
I like to go to the cinema, don't get it twisted, but it has to be, it's only certain films like Fast and the Furious. It's a cinema because I've done it from day one. I'm there for my man, Vin. If I see a trailer for a film and I think, oh my God, A, it's got great actors, B, it looks amazing, C, I really want to see it, then I'll try and go to the cinema. If not, I'll just be like, oh, I'll wait till it comes out. Now, don't get it wrong. There's been movies where I've seen the trailer and thought, oh my God, I want to go to the cinema and see that. I've missed it. It's then come on Sky and I've watched it and thought, well, thank the Lord I didn't waste all that money at the cinema because it wasn't as good.
I'm going to just tell you, I am a movie goer. I just haven't had the time to actually sit in the movie theater and watch a good movie. I think movie theaters are the best.
So if you had time and there was a film, you would go to the cinema?
Yes, I would. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I am kind of zoned out on because of the whole pandemic and being locked down, and now all the streaming services have bought some of the rights to some of these movies that are coming out, and you get to see them on and then a lot of like HBO Max will tell you, hey, we got this movie soon, it's going to be in the theaters and we're not going to air it anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like In the Heights, it is a musical that's out right now. And yeah, I'm not a big musical fan either, but it's out on HBO Max. It's doing very well on the streaming service. And then it'll send you a message saying, hey, this is the last week to watch The Heights before it goes to the theaters. So if you don't have HBO Max, you can go to the theater and watch it. If you have HBO Max, which I do, you can watch the movie.
I mean, personally,
before it hits the theaters.
it swings and roundabouts, right? If you go to the cinema, you get a massive screen, sound quality is on point, you get good snacks, you know, like you can choose what you want to eat. It's total darkness, uninterruption, right? You've got to turn your phone off, all the rest of it. If you watch it at home, you can stay in your pajamas if you want. You can choose the snacks. Screen ain't as big unless you've got surround sound. Sound quality ain't as good.
Oh yeah, I got a sound bar. My TV's huge, and if it's a movie that's worth watching, that's where I'm at. I'm down in my man cave.
Now, I knew that I needed a bigger telly, right? And definitely having this football tournament has made it blatantly obvious, because I'm like, whoa, who's got the ball? So yeah, I definitely need a new telly. I knew that anyway, but let's be honest.
Upgrades.
Who's got the money to just go out and buy a new 50 or 55 inch? Because I can't have smaller than that.
They're giving them away now, though.
If you have a jab, right? If you get a jab, we'll give you a 55 inch telly. No.
They might.
I'll stick to my 40 inch, thanks, if I have to have a jab. But for the wall that it would go on, nothing less than a 50. It's not me being a snob. It's not worth getting any less than a 50 inch. So I don't really have 50 inch money for a telly at the minute. So when I do, like, there's loads of things I want to do in my house, in my home. I want a bigger fridge, for example. I want a new dining room table. I need a bigger telly. I want one of these Ring doorbells that's got a camera on that you can see everything. So I've just basically had to write a list, which is more priority than the others. And unfortunately, the telly, because I have actually got one already, is going slowly further and further down the ranking.
The bottom of the list. You know me, I got a sound bar for my TV. My TV's a decent size, and I enjoy watching movies in my own home. But do I miss going to the theater? Yes. And you know what else that I'm starting to like is that a lot of these movies now, they're not putting them on streaming services like Fast and the Furious 9. Okay? You're not getting that on any streaming service. You got to go to the movie theaters to see that. And I ain't mad at Vin Diesel for that. He's like, look, I made this movie for the theaters.
But I'm sure it said that it had something like 500 million at the box office, that movie at the theater, and it was the best one since COVID or whatever. Like, it done so well, which I don't.
You got to understand, though, was that the only movie in the movie theaters? There's some movies that's already on streaming services or in the movie. Like, for instance, I drove past the movie theater, and on the marquee it had movies that are already on streaming services right now. So why would I pay to go to a movie theater if I can see it in my own home?
Okay, let me give you an ATP question. Do you always call it a movie theater? You never call it a cinema?
I always call it a movie theater. People do call it a cinema, movie cinema, cinemas, cinema theater, movie.
We only call it a cinema here. No one says movie theater.
Well, I couldn't answer that question for you, ATP.
But no, across the pond, I just wondered if you do actually use the word cinema, but you do sometimes.
Yeah, I do it sometimes, but movie theaters.
Okay, so let's ask the difference between home and out. When you go to the cinema, what snacks do you have?
Me personally, I eat before I go, but if I were to, it's a Slurpee. Icy for you.
Oh, like I'm a slush puppy, like a Tango Ice Blast. I love them.
Yeah, I normally have a Slurpee, and then if I haven't eaten, I normally get nachos. I'm not a big popcorn person, but then I always gotta get what is it called? Goobers, which is chocolate covered peanuts.
Goobers. I don't like popcorn because it gets stuck in your teeth.
I'm not a big popcorn fan unless it's kettle popcorn.
When you go to the cinema, I like to have 2 scoops of ice cream and a Tango Ice Blast, like your frozen drink. What snacks do you have if you're watching it at home?
No, when I'm watching it at home, I go balls to the wall. I normally have a meal.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah, I normally have like some chips, some juice, a sandwich, or a sub. I'm
Oh,
all
you
in.
got a 3-course dinner.
I'm nestled in.
Just
Excuse
the
me.
thought
I
of
am
it's making him
nestled
choke.
in. Yeah, I am nestled in. I got a couple sodas, some chips, but then I still do the same thing. If it's something that like I really want to watch, I eat before I do it because I don't want any interruptions. I
But
just
do
want
you
to
get
watch.
like your comfy clothes on?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got the PJs on or the bathrobe. Or the house robe. I'm ready.
Okay, if you had a massive house like these celebrity goers, would you have a cinema room? Like the
Heck
big
yeah. That's one of the first things that's going in there. I want the movie theater seats. I want the surround sound. I want the curtain to come
Oh,
open.
now that's bougie. I didn't think about the curtain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gotta have the lighting and everything. That would be one of the first things I put in my house.
Okay, now I don't know if they still do it, but like years ago, I'm talking years. I don't know why they did it, but they would stop the movie halfway through and somebody would come in to see if you wanted any snacks, right? Or with a little trolley. Did you have that there?
No.
Oh, but we had that here, and there's one where my auntie used to live in Grantham. I don't know if they still do it today, but definitely up until a few years ago, they still did that. Halfway through the film, they'd pause it, and a lady'd come in with a trolley with ice creams, and you could go and buy ice cream
Oh,
halfway
I'd be
through.
upset. I'd be upset because I'd be like, did they just pause this movie in the climax? Oh, I'm upset. Now, we did when I was a teenager. They did have a movie theater called the Cinema Grill. And what it was is they had like the movie theater seats, but they had these counters and you can actually order food and beverage. And you
Where's
just
the screen?
it's the movie screen, just like the regular movie screen, but the seats were sat where there was counters and tables, and you can actually order a main course and watch the movie.
But surely the waitress or the person with the
No,
food's
no,
head
no,
would get in the way.
no, no. You would get the food like you would get it at the concession stand, and you would take it in and you would eat.
Oh no,
And watch the
I
movie.
like to put my feet up and get real
It
like
was called the
comfy.
Cinema Grill.
Is it still available or not?
No.
No, I didn't think so. That wouldn't take off. I like to put my feet. So I even take my shoes off sometimes and put my feet up on the chairs and get right down.
Now, we do have a movie theater that's called Flagship. And what they do is when you go to the movie theater, you have to actually pick your seats. And the seats are like recliners. But the thing about it, it is so cold in there. Every time you go in there, you always see like teenagers with blankets. You do got to go in there with like a blanket or
Is that because of
something.
air conditioning?
Yeah, it's like ice cold in there.
Oh
I
yeah,
went in
ours are like that, but I love it. But let
and
me
I
ask,
was frozen.
let me ask you this much then. A normal cinema there, do you get to choose your seat or do you just sit wherever you want?
A normal cinema or a normal movie theater.
Yeah, like do they designate you seats or you pick where you sit when you get in there?
Now, a regular movie theater here, once you buy your ticket, you can go in and you can sit anywhere you want.
Okay.
Okay. Flagship, on the other hand, you have designated seats that you can pick where you want to sit at. Because sometimes they'll tell you if you buy a ticket and it's for two people, they might say, hey, this movie theater is full. There's only a seat from A, C, and
Yeah.
DB. They're not really sitting together. You're just like, nah, I'll come to another one. Unless I'm going by myself. If I'm going by myself, and I don't care where I sit as long as I'm in one of those recliners.
Yeah, here when you buy the ticket, they turn the screen round and you can see, and like the seats that are taken will be green, and then whatever's left, and you pick what you want.
Yeah, see, that's how Flagship is.
So there, are you one of these people like before the movie you got adverts, then you got trailers, then you got the movie, right? Someone actually told me that it's 20 minutes from when like if they say the film's going to start at 8 o'clock, it's 20 minutes after that the film starts because you got adverts and trailers, right?
True.
I'm anal. I need to be in there at 8 o'clock before the lights dim, before the adverts start, before the trailers start. I need to be in there and in my seat. Are you one of those people, or don't you care? You wait till just before the film starts and then roll in?
Ooh, no, I gotta watch the trailers. I gotta watch it. I am a trailer man. I love watching what is the next movies coming out.
And you know what? It's not even about watching the trailers. I just don't want to be one of those people that walking in the dark and everyone looks at you like, why are you in my way? Or, you know, I'll trip up the stair because it's dark.
Oh yeah,
I've had a number of conversations with people that I've gone to the cinema with, and they were like, why are you rushing? The film don't start yet. And I'm like, I don't care. It says 8 o'clock. I want to be there by 8 o'clock. You know, that's how it is.
Because I want to watch the trailers.
No, because I
Now,
just
let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. Where do you like to sit in the cinema?
Right in the middle, like right in the middle of the rows, right in the middle with the screen right in front of me. If I can't do that, then I still got to sit right in the middle, but I'll sit further up at the back. I never in a million years would sit in the front row like this. No. Why do they even put them chairs there?
You know what we call that? And I'm gonna tell you, we call that the middle of the middle. I like to be in the middle of the middle. And you know what? Sometimes I catch an attitude if I go to the movie theater and excuse me, and someone's already got the middle of the middle.
Not only that,
I gotta sit up a higher, or I sit like lower, but still in the middle.
I'm telling you, when Sex and the City came out, right, the first movie, there was a group of us that went from work. I'd say probably like 4 or 5. You know me, I'm there before I got to be there. And we basically, they said, here's your ticket, first come, first serve. You can sit where you want. We sat, as you classed it, the middle of the middle, like this, way before the movie started. Now, as it started to get full up, the security guard, you could see him walking up and down the aisle. And he was saying to people, can you move up to there, please? Because there's 3 people coming in and you've got 2 people. And like he was basically trying to shuffle people around so that people could sit together. And at one point, literally 2 minutes before the lights went down, I see him come and stand. And if looks could kill, he would have been 6 feet under and buried and the headstone back on. I looked at him as if to say, don't even think about it, mate, because I am not moving. And he went to speak and then carried on walking, because I thought, that's right, pal. I got my seat. I paid my ticket.
I've never had that happen. I wish somebody would tell me to get up and move out of the movie theater. I'd be like, excuse me?
I ain't going nowhere. I've paid my money. I chose my seat.
First come, first serve.
Exactly.
What I like about the movie theater here, the cinema here, is that it's first come, first serve, unless you go to the flagship where once you pay your ticket, like there's a screen that pops up and it tells you which seats are free.
Yeah.
So if you're going with another person, or more than 1 or more than 3, then you can pick and see where you want to sit at.
How do you deal with people that are really noisy throughout the movie that you're trying to watch?
I don't really say nothing, because I'm serious. If it's a movie that I really want to watch, I normally block them out. Or 95% I'm probably one of those people. I'm probably one of those people like, don't go in there, girl. They're gonna get you.
Okay, it's only happened once that comes to mind, but there was a group of teenagers. Like I was in the middle, but right on the back row, so like in the aisle bit, and they were like 3 or 4 rows down, talking, laughing, swearing, shouting. Oh my God, I was getting eggy. Anyway, somebody else must have gone and complained before I had a chance to say anything. So the steward come in and I heard her say, you need to keep the noise down, otherwise we're going to have to ask you to leave. And I just said, oh, thank God for that. One of them turned around. What the beep beeps it got to do with you? And I was like, love, people have paid their money to watch this film and all we can hear is you. If you don't want to watch it, do one. But we came here to watch the film. Well, why didn't you get up and say anything to us then? I said, because of this. I don't want no confrontation. Look at your mouth. You know, all of a sudden, kids seem to get balls bigger than their head, you know, when they're in a group. But
I had a little girl shush me during the Twilight joint. I couldn't do nothing but laugh because I looked at her like, where's your parents? because you old enough to be my child. Don't shush me.
I can't remember what I went to see once. It was with an ex, but way before Alfie's dad. It might have been, I want to say White Chicks, but I don't think it was, but something along them lines, right? And I laughed so much in the cinema. He kept saying to me, you need to be quiet because people are looking at us. You're laughing when other people aren't laughing, and your laugh is loud. People are turning around and looking at us. I can't help it.
Yeah, I laugh at the most obscene stuff, and I've had people whisper like, "Oh my God, something's wrong with him," because he just finds that so funny. Because I literally be on the floor, and I don't know what it is. If it's tragedy, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just got a weird sense of humor. But if it's something that like nobody else would be laughing and I'd be in there chuckling, like
But
my
that's
eyes be
me.
tearing
But
up.
I
They're like,
mean,
you're so mean.
I've been in there to see Magic Mike before and felt like I was the only person in the cinema. I was clapping and cheering and everything. Woo! And I just couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it was going down.
You one of them Magic Mike's
Chocolate City. They need to do another one of them. Funny enough, actually, just totally going off the subject. And yeah. You looking at your mug, which again isn't an ATP mug, but hey, I ain't mad at you.
Hey, my ATP mug is
still in the dishwasher. We know. When you go to strippers, ain't no one ever dressed up as a superhero. You know, you got Superman on your mug. I just thought, it's always fireman or like the sailor in the white get up. It's never a Superman.
I would not know. I would not know. I would
Fun
not.
Friday, can't be a stripper. Dun, dun, dun.
That's a cinema. That's a cinema all in itself. But back to the movie theater.
I thought you were going to take your top off then.
What snacks do you eat?
Well, only ice cream if I go to the cinema. If I'm at home, depends. If I've had my dinner, well, if I haven't had my dinner, then I eat my dinner while the film is on, you know. If I have had my dinner, I just normally have something sweet, you know, like a dessert or something.
Uh-huh.
Do you need to take that?
Nope. I was just looking at the time. Thank you.
Yeah, I just have a sweet and a drink.
You would have a sweet and a drink?
Yeah.
Now, my old days, if it was an action pack, did you ever sneak snacks into the movie theater?
Oh yeah, here when we was younger, the underlying rule was you're not allowed to bring your own snacks in. But we rarely went to the cinema because obviously we didn't have cinema money. But if ever we did, we'd have to have a rucksack or something that had the snacks inside because no one's paying cinema snack money when you got food at home.
When times was rough, and all I had was enough for the movies. I'm dedicated. I had just enough for a movie theater. I got a specific jacket that has pockets inside the jacket lining. And I would just, with the kids, I would just snack all their favorite snacks in that coat. Man, we would have fun.
I'm glad we weren't the only ones. Now, let me ask you a kind of serious question on a Fun Friday. So, you know, like the films have got ratings, haven't they? UPG 12, 15, 18, right? X-rated. Do you think that they are always justified, or do you think they're needed? What do you think about them?
I think they're needed to a certain extent, but then sometimes I think they hit or miss too. Because sometimes they can say it's a rating, and then when I watch the movie, I'd be like,
yeah, like sometimes you can watch a 15. There's no swearing or cussing, no nip slip, no sex scene, no nothing. So I don't understand why it is the rating that it is.
Sometimes they say the violence in the movie, but then I just be like, what violence? I didn't see any violence. But then it is what it is.
Do you know what I would love to do as a job? My God, you yawn on every show.
I work at night. I don't have a normal work schedule. I have work at night, and no one should be working at night.
Do
Night
you
is
know?
a terrible sport.
Okay. Do you know what job I would love to do? And I actually think I'm really good at it already. Is when you watch a movie and you see something that they've made like a mistake, like
Flaws, like bloopers and
yes,
stuff like that.
yes. Like 1 minute she's
My movie.
skipping along the street with heels on, and the same. They've obviously cut the scene and then come back to record it a bit later. 2 minutes later, she's got no shoes on, and I'm like, "Hello, where's the lady's shoes gone?"
Well, that's the best part of the movie. That means you paying attention. Me personally, I would love to be a Siskel and Ebert movie critic.
A what?
Siskel and Ebert was a famous.
Oh yeah, you told me about them. You said you was going to get us a gig to try and see if we could take it over.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be my dream job of all jobs.
To be fair,
they pay me to watch movies all day long.
Okay, fine. It's not necessarily paid, but we do a movie review on a UK radio station. Come on, man.
And I love it.
We've got our format off to a T. We do our introduction. I ask you what's the film about. You tell us the film, where you can see it, and then give us a little description, and then we rate it each out of 5. We are on a roll. And to be fair, this week's movie review, we can't tell you what the movie is because the review doesn't actually air until Saturday at 12 p.m. Right. But you rated this movie and I gave it a 1, man.
I know, but like I said, I enjoyed the movie. And like you said, it was a man's movie. More power. Action. I love
get it twisted. I like some action films, but that just was not the one. Sci-fi and action. Ugh.
Lovely combination.
With predictable storyline.
Love every minute of it. I would have went to the theaters.
No way. I wouldn't have. I'd have done the same. Watched it at home and then be like, oh, glad I didn't waste my money. And why did I just waste 2 hours of my life I'm never going to get back?
What do you think is movie theater worthy?
It's hard because definitely Fast and Furious.
I think monster movies, action movies, drama not so much. Rom-coms I can bear with, but action movies and monster movies.
I see what you're saying. Action movies, yes, for the big screen and the big sound. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, for instance, I would have loved to watch Kong versus Godzilla on the big screen.
Is that what did I think I watched King Kong on the big screen, not Godzilla.
Yeah, you talking about Skull Island?
Yeah.
King Kong, Skull Island. Yes. That right there is a must. Like monster movies and action-packed movies, it's a must to watch on the big screen.
Agree.
I think. That's just my opinion, people.
I had another question, but it's gone. No.
And I could watch some dramas. But what kind of movies would you like to go see in the theaters?
Not any particular genre. It is literally just individual films. It's not any particular genre, Yeah.
Would you watch a romantic movie in the movie?
Oh yeah, and have a good old cry. See, now I went to see A Star Is Born in the theaters. Theaters? Why did I say that? In the cinema, right? And I went to see it in the cinema 3 times, right? Each time, even though I knew what was happening, I cried. So I went to see it first time. Second time, I went to the cinema with Michaela to watch it. And I swear to God, you could hear people sobbing. You could hear them. Now, I'm a crier in the cinema, but not a sobber to the point where, like, a little, but not like.
Star Born was a remake, so I wasn't a big fan.
I loved it. I even went to watch it on.
I think Lady Gaga did a good. I think she did well.
I went to watch it on an outdoor theater as well. Why do I keep saying
drive-in?
I can't remember you too long. Star Is Born. I went to watch it at an outside cinema. Yeah.
Y'all call it an outside cinema. We call it a drive-in.
Well, you didn't drive. It was in a park. You walked and then sat in your seat. There's no car.
Oh.
Yeah, we have got a new drive-in cinema that's opened, and I was, to be honest,
No, they do have that sometimes in the summertime in the parks.
to be
They call
honest, if I had money, I would have wanted.
cinema in the park.
If I'd have had money, I'd have wanted to open one during Corona, because you could still make money if you had drive-in cinema. People still would want to watch films, and they don't even have to get out their car. So there's
that would have been a money maker. We only have one drive-in theater here, so I wish if anybody's thinking that, you want to go in on it, I'm down. I'll go.
Yeah, how? Look, you heard it here first. If anyone wants to be an investor, I've got the ideas, I've got the vision.
Let's go.
Get going.
Let's go. Cinema in the park, movies in the park. They have that sometimes here, where you can bring a blanket or a chair, and they put up the big screen. I know, right? They put up the big screen.
We're very sorry if we're boring you.
You know what? Say that one
more time. My nose looks shiny today. I don't like it. Yeah. Movies. Okay, one more question. And please don't ask me the same question, because I can't narrow it down. What is your one favorite all-time movie ever?
One-time movie, there's so many that I love. And, I'm gonna have to say it. Goonies, that is my movie. I saw that in the theaters.
The Goonies?
Yes. I saw that. I was a little kid and I saw that in the movie theater, and I was just in love with One-Eyed Willie, and Chunk, and all that. Hey, you guys, the little deformed guy. Oh man, I love that movie from start to finish. And the thing that I love about it, there will never be a remake to that. I'd be so upset if they did a remake.
I did hear that they were going to do another one, but with the same people, like now grown up.
Oh man, if they did that, I would watch it. But there's a lot of people that's not going to be in it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that passed away, like the mom, she's gone. The dude that played Chunk, I think, is gone. So I don't know. Now I did see during lockdown on YouTube, they had I guess Where Are They Now? And they brought them all together and did like an interview and how everybody is doing and what they're doing now during the pandemic. I thought that was great. Just to see everybody again in one room, that was great. But again, that's one of those classics where do not touch it, leave it just the way it is.
Well, I'm just going to put this out there. When you come to the UK, when I go to the USA, regardless, even if the film is shite, we've got to go to the cinema so that we can see the experience. ATP.
Oh yeah, without question. I'm down for that.
ATP style.
ATP style.
Yeah.
Now, how do we end this? This is Rich. And we are
from
across the pond.
Yeah.
Rich and so, alright. Now holla at me if you're ready to go. Hey, across the pond with Rich and so, alright. Now holla at me if you're ready to go. Hey, across the pond with Rich and so, alright, alright.
Come on, Italy. Whoop, whoop.
All right, I'll see you on Sunday.
Yes, but I'm not sure I'll be able to tell you who's won because it's not on until nighttime. We normally do our show in the afternoon. So you still won't know if England's won, but hey ho.
All right.
Yepper.
Yepper.